welcome to this podcast episode 1. This is my first ever podcast episode and I am actually very nervous. I did what I did the entire year. I've done some weekly videos and some and I've done some project vlogs. I've done one. But this is my first time actually sitting down and doing a podcast. This one is coming out so late since I actually wasn't sure that I wanted to podcast, since I am trying to take things a little slower this year. So a weekly podcast does not really produce a lot of things, I thought. So I have been thinking about it and I really want to try this monthly one. So that's why it's coming out a little later, because I was having some thoughts about it, but I am trying to do this monthly one where I just show you guys what I have knitted through this month, which was January 2026. I will also say that, just a quick disclaimer, my knitting has gotten just a little bit slower this year because of my hands. My hands did take a few tolls last year, so I'm trying to take it a little bit slower. And you can also see I have done a lot of small projects and not a lot of big ones this month, but lots of fun projects. First, I will talk about what I'm wearing. This is not one I have done myself. This is one that my boyfriend's very, very talented grandma did. I love this project. I really do. I steal it all the time. I've tried to write a few things down, but I don't know the color names. But I am pretty sure that this is actually knit like the exact same as the pattern. This is from the Sandnes. It's from the magazine thing, Norske Ikoner Theme 75. This one is the model 5, I'm pretty sure, which is called the TINDE HERREGENSER, and it's knit out of FACET garn, and it's just beautiful. It's a round yoke. This is actually a men's pattern, and I don't really see why it has to be that, but I do feel like men has to be a little bit more represented, and yeah, that's what I'm just here trying to do by wearing a men's shirt. I really love it. It's cozy. It's knit on a 5.5mm needle, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. It is very warm, but it has, because it's knit on that big of a gauge, it does have the wind goes quite through it, so it's actually a bit hard to wear as like a jacket here in winter. So this is more like I feel like September kind of jacket wear, because it is, and then also a winter wear just for the inside. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly show you, because I honestly am in love with this one. I kind of want to knit something in fritidsgarn myself, and I also really want to maybe make like a round yoke pattern, knit one at least. I will also say that I feel like it does make your shoulders look a little bit broad, and that is one of my pet peeves for my own body. I don't like feeling big. Yeah, but I do really enjoy how this looks. Okay, we will just start off. I hope this is not gonna be too rambly, but I love talking about yarn. I love talking about sweaters and knits, so I hope you guys don't mind. Yeah, if I forget anything about this pattern, or if I say something wrong, it's just please feel free to correct me. I'm kind of doing this by memory, if it makes sense, because some of it's hard to actually remember what you did and how much you used, and all of this, and how, like, all the details of the pattern when it's that long ago that I knitted. some of them are like a month ago. But yeah, just if I do anything, say anything that's wrong about the pattern or anything, just please let me know. Okay, the first thing that I did this year was I have just come out of all the gift knitting for Christmas, and that just did not stop because I really enjoy gift knitting. That is actually one thing I really like, and I would love to just have more knitting time just to knit more gifts. Yeah, so and also I have some coffee there, and all the mess, just don't mind it. I have some washing I need to put away there. The first thing I did was a pair of Sunday socks for my grandpa. His birthday is here in this February, and I did the Sunday socks for him. I did them in the size 41 to 43. Is that right? 41 to 42 maybe? Yeah, I think it's 2 sizes per size in the pattern. I knit these in the drops Fiesta, in the denim, marled denim. I love these socks so much. I have knitted so many Sunday socks, and I want to knit so many more. I really, really love them. I listened to what Petite Knit said in the pattern, whereas if you knitted one of the 2 biggest sizes, you could make the cuff for the sock 5 centimeters shorter, and then you would still only use 2 skeins per pair, so like 1 skein a sock, and that worked perfectly. It just fits every time. I've done it with just 2 balls of the Fiesta, and then you get 1 sock. I will just try and show you here how it looks. I hope it focuses. I love 2x2 ribbing. I love how it feels on the foot. I love how snug it is. So this is what it looks like in just the plain stockinette. I knit these on double pointed needles, like DPNs, and again, I think I've showed you this in every other video I've done. I always get like this laddering, like this loose stitch here. I don't know how to get rid of that, but I feel like in a sock it's not really that noticeable because it's underneath, and in the ribbing I don't feel like it's noticeable at all. So yeah, I love them so much. Okay, let's just move on. These are for my granddad, as I said, in the size 41 to 42. Moving on, I've knit something that's not here, but I feel like I have some pictures and some videos and stuff. I will just put on the screen. I knit the cloud sweater for my little sister. This sweater has kind of a story. I also feel like I told you this in everything I knit in my first year of knitting video, but this sweater was originally knitted back in July, where my sister turned 18 years old. She turned 18 years old, and she had just the whole spring was talked to me and was like, oh, I really want a yellow sweater. Oh, my favorite color is yellow. I want a yellow sweater, please. Oh, every time we walked past a yellow sweater, she was like, oh my god, a yellow sweater, please. Please, it would be so cool if she didn't really tell me to knit one, but she was like, oh, it would be so cool if I had one, if I could knit one, and she wanted to do it herself actually. So yeah, I was like, I can knit a sweater for her birthday. Yeah, so I tried. I used a pattern, I was like briefly, but it didn't really fit with what she had described she wanted. She wanted a very big sweater, and she wanted one that could be used for summer, which of course, because it was summer back then. So I tried to do that. I knitted it on 12mm needles, which was huge. I knitted it on 12 and 10 millimeter needles, and I used 2 strands of drops brushed alpaca silk in the yellow color. First off, 2 strands of that of that color doesn't really produce a color that I feel like was very pretty. It was very chick colored, and the strands were just, it felt like it needs to be bigger, but it was okay. I knitted it first time. I knitted a bottom up sweater. I did not enjoy that at all because it was very hard for me to actually like gauge the length, and also sewing on the shoulders here, I'm just very bad at it, so it became super stiff, and it was a boat neck, which meant that it was a cast off edge here, and I casted it off as loosely as I could, but it was just super like non-stretchy, so it was a bit of a fail. I still gave it to her, and she was very happy with it. She was like, oh my god, you knitted me a sweater, and it just had these small things that were not ideal, but she used it as much as she could because it is warm. Like 2 strands of drops brushed alpaca silk is very warm. Like, oh my god, it's so warm. Like, 1 strand of, I have one sweater where it's 1 strand of it and on a 4 millimeter needle, and it's just the warmest sweater ever. So it was warm, and she didn't really use it because of those annoying changes. The arms became also just too narrow for the oversizedness of the body, and she also has very long limbs, so though it wasn't long enough, it was like sitting here, which doesn't really fit like that oversized of a sweater. So she gave it to me and was like, maybe you can just fix the sleeves, because she's really happy about it, and she just needs it to be a little bit longer and maybe a little bit wider. I was like, sure, I can do that. But I felt down in my bones how I just did not enjoy that one. I didn't really like the process of it. I had so many feelings about not really liking the finished look of it, and I just couldn't get myself to actually pick that sweater up again because I was having, like, I don't know, I was just not pleased with it. So I knitted a new swatch where I tried to do this was before actually deciding anything, but I knitted a new swatch with mainly I really didn't like the openness of the gauge, and I really didn't like the color. So I knitted just a swatch on just some smaller needles, like I think I chose a 5, and I added a white brushed alpaca silk into the yellow to do like a little bit of a marled feel, but they were kind of, because it's so fluffy, it doesn't really get like that big of a noticeable marling, but more, yeah, it's not that noticeable. It's just like it only if you come very close, but even it gets like a very uniform look. And I enjoyed that swatch so much, and I could just feel I needed to just redo that sweater. So I brought the swatch to my sister and was like, what do you feel about this? And she was like, oh my god, yeah, that's so pretty. And we decided that I was gonna redo it, and she chose the cloud sweater pattern for it, and I was happy that she chose a petite knit pattern. I love petite knit. I honestly make so many of her patterns. I've heard this a lot from like new knitters as well as myself. Yeah. It's just the perfect place to go when you're new, like in your first year of knitting. I enjoy all her patterns. It's written so well, and I just love her patterns. I love her, and I love many more, but she is my go-to. I feel like she's my go-to for all the basics and for all the gift knitting I do and everything. She is just my go-to. The cloud sweater I knit, oh, I totally forgot to tell you the amount of days it took me to knit. So quickly, these Sunday socks, they took me 12 days to knit. I always have second sock syndrome, so that's why. So it doesn't usually take me that long, the first one, but the time in between takes me long. Okay, yeah. Next, the cloud sweater took me 23 days to make when it was my sole focus. I only knit on that one for that long, and I used just nature white, like the natural white color, mixed with the yellow color from the alpaca silk, and it turned out amazing. And it just as Bettina describes, I was actually kind of surprised that I hit gauge on with just the 2 strands. I was so happy because I was on Ravelry and didn't really see a lot of people doing anything other than like the blown yarns. So yeah, I was so happy about that. Yeah, then we can move on to the next one. The next one is again a pair of Sunday socks. Of course, I love a pair of Sunday socks. These were knit in the size 39 to 40, which is my size. And probably every woman in my family has that size. Like a 40 to 41 is like the normal amount of size, but I feel like these turn out, they're very stretchy, so like if your size is like a woman's smaller 40 to 41, you can fit these. These are also knit in the Drops Fiesta in the rainbow sprinkles, I'm pretty sure. I fell for this online when I bought it, and I was like, oh my god, I love that color, I love it, I love pink, I love rainbow, I love everything. But I don't know, I'm just trying to show you. I don't know if it focuses, but it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Does it focus? I hope so. I'm gonna knit so many more of these patterns, but I actually did have a bit of a weird thing happening with these socks. When I knit these, when I got down to like here, this was during my exam, so I was actually waiting outside of the exam for me to go into the exam, and then suddenly the yarn changes to white. I was like, is this stripy? I don't know if you can see, but it has like a white stripe going all around, and then only the pink color underneath going all the way around. And I was so confused. I was like, oh, does it turn to like stripy yarn? But then it got back to normal, and I felt like that was so weird. So I contacted where I bought them, and they sent me a new skein because this was like a color mistake. So I've never actually had any problems with that at all, but it just, even though I got the other skein, I'm not really gonna knit them again unless I'm gonna give them as a gift. I'm gonna keep them as for myself. I don't really know, but I love the Sunday socks. I love them. But these took me 6 days to knit. It was just a funny thing with that white strip. Okay, next one is exciting because that is my little gift knit for my cousin's baby that's gonna be born here in the spring. Oh, and I love how this turned out. I knit them, we don't know if it's gonna be a boy or a girl yet, so I knit them some overalls in a it's so cute. They are knit in the Drops Charisma in the chocolate color, and it is, I knit them in the size 6 to 9 months just for it to be a little bit bigger. I also got them these bear buttons, and these buttons are very, very cute. I did choose to do a white strip underneath between the eyes because I felt like that was least like in your face, since the buttonholes is the eyes and you need to put like a thread in between. That was a bit weird, I felt like, but I could just not pass these buttons up for this chocolate color. And yeah, these are the Charisma. I have put this little mark on that shows that it's handmade and a gift from me. It doesn't show that it's a gift from me, it just says handmade, but I really like the little wooden accents for like gifts, especially little baby gifts. Oh, I love it. But these, yeah, are the Willum overalls, again from Petite Knit. I am excited to give it to them. They turned out amazing. They do have they have the same issue where like the strip where I knitted them in the double pointed needle have that little bit of a looser stitch there, but I don't think that's ruining them at all. I used just about 3 balls for this, like 2 and just a tiny bit of the third ball. So it's actually quite, you get like a long, because this is like a DK weight knitted on 3mm needles, and I enjoyed it so much. The only thing I did not, it's not like I didn't like it, it's just that I hadn't done it before, is that you knit these, like the one pant leg and then the other, and then you put them together, and then you have to sew like the middle here together. And I hadn't done that before, so I'm not really sure if it's done like in the most beautiful way, but I feel like it's quite it is quite uniform, even though you can see that my gauge is quite tight, just a little bit tighter on here where I knitted magic loop than here where I knitted on the double pointed needles. But honestly, I feel like some chunky baby thighs would fit in this and then they need a little bit more room in the legs. Okay, to go with this, I knitted a stormy weather hat from Strikkestoffe. I love this little hat. It is so freaking cute with the ears, and I did also put the little wooden accent in. It is knit in the same yarn, the Drops Charisma. I used 1 ball for the hat part, and then I had to open another ball for the ears. So again, I think that's only for this pattern that you have to like use that, because if you go one size smaller, you can get away with only 1 ball, which is amazing stash busting. So I feel like I need to make one of these in every size, and every baby needs to get one, because 1 ball is very affordable, and also it knits up very quickly, and it's just a beautiful gift, and very, not only beautiful, but it is also very practical, especially here right now where we have snow everywhere and another snowstorm is coming this like Thursday. It's Tuesday today, so in 2 days there will be another snowstorm, so get your baby some stormy weather hats. This set took me, let me see, 13 days to make. I feel like that's quite good. Honestly, I don't know, it's my first time doing baby knits, and it was on, the overalls is on 3mm needles and the hat is on 4mm needles, and I feel like that's a good amount of time for especially the 3mm needles, because that body is not short, it's quite long. And then also the hat was quick, the hat took me like 2 days, then the rest is for the overalls. I enjoyed it so much. I want to knit for babies all the time. I love the satisfaction of quick knits. I love the satisfaction of quick knits but not accessories, actually, because I feel like accessories you can get kind of bored. I am a little bit bored of it because I knit so many this January. So yeah, I am actually coming up, I am making another baby sweater. That is just for trying some new techniques and stuff, and some new yarn, because I felt like I needed to try it out before, but I will get to that in a little bit. We are not done yet. We are now at the next project, which is my August vest from Aftenstrik. I do have a project work on this, so if you haven't seen it, just hurry up and go and watch it. That will make me so happy. It is this one, this beautiful vest. It is knit in the permanent color, and the color of the yarn is called Wildflower, I'm pretty sure. And it is just beautiful. It's reversible, so you can either wear it like this or you can wear it like this. This was a knit I enjoyed so much, and it took me 14 days to knit, which I feel like is very good. I did also take my time with it. I enjoyed having just this as like my evening knit, and yeah, I love it. The only thing I'm not quite sure about it is the amount of fabric there is on, like, here around the arm, like here. This is extremely noticeable on the back when you wear it turned around with the bows in the back, and I am not sure I like that look. So if I were to knit this again, I think I would actually go a size down, just to eliminate, and then maybe not cast on underneath the arms, because there was just a lot of fabric sitting, like, kind of like this. I don't know if you can see, like, this amount of fabric just sitting on the armpit area, and that is not really an area I want to like draw attention to. So that's the only flaw about this, I feel like. I also am not good at sewing, as I told you about the cloud sweater. This sweater is a cardigan, and you need to sew the up here, and it did not turn out that good. As you can see this, the stitches, and it's just, I don't feel like you notice it, because when my hair is over it, it's just not noticeable. So it doesn't really bother me at all, but I feel like I need to get into some sewing techniques and skills and make that be just a little bit better, so I actually don't have these things that I don't like about my knits. Even though they don't bother me, they're just, they're there, you know? Yeah, I love this vest. I would knit 100 of them with those small corrections. It's knit on 6mm needles, and because this is a cardigan, I use like 6 on my knit row, and then just half a size smaller on my purl rows. That just helps me get gauge. Yeah, because I feel like my gauges in cardigans are very big. They're much bigger in comparison to when I knit in the round. So that trick is actually a trick that one of my mom's colleagues taught her, which she taught to me, and I've done that ever since. I really enjoy that little trick, and also especially for like more summer yarns where you do knit flat and then connect in around. I can always see a difference because that yarn doesn't really like expand as much, I feel like. So when you do that trick on those, I did that on the ivy top from Petite Knit and stuff like that. It just makes it much more seamless and the gauges fit together. And yeah, that's just a little trick. If you haven't heard about it, just go ahead and do it and try it out for yourself, because I feel like that will change how you look at especially summer knitting. Okay, the next one is my mittens. I did these mittens. These are I call them my crystal mittens, because they are knitted with this palette yarn, like this sequin yarn. Right now there's too much like indirect light for them to be that pretty, I feel like, but you can see The one flaw about them, I feel like, is also that they are in the inside, and that's a bit iffy. It's a bit, you can feel it on your hands. Not that it's uncomfortable, but you can just feel it inside of your glove. So yeah, these mittens are inspired by the Vienna mittens from Petite Knit, but they are not those. I kind of looked at them and then tried to do it myself from that look. These are knit on 4mm needles, and they are knit with double Sunday yarn. They are knit in one of the Petite Knit colors, actually. I think it's called whipped cream or whipped cream. Beautiful color, honestly, beautiful color. I love that color because it's very like a cool white, not like a warm white. I do like the cool ones more than the warm ones. Does that make sense? Especially actually for winter accessories, because like snow is stark white. So if you go out and all your knitwear is like that cream, it looks so yellow in comparison. Like it looks like butter. But again, that's not really what's important. I just really enjoy this color. I honestly feel like they turned out well. They are too big. I did also see that the pattern uses a 3.5mm needles, I'm pretty sure. Not that I really care, but they are too big. I like how long they are. I feel like it needs to be cinched in here though, because I feel like they fall off. But again, small things. I knit them. I tried to knit them with like a raglan increase. It looked like on the picture of her that it was a raglan increase up the thumb, and then you just picked up some stitches. I don't like that. I feel like this comes it comes far out, so like I want that to like stick more in there, if that makes sense, like the thumb. So that this is just changes for the next time I do mittens. And then I also did like the raglan increases up here, and just bounded off, and yeah, that's how they turned out. I did one more pair of these that's coming up, where I tried to make them smaller and just do them a little bit differently, but honestly I love them. These are the ones I wear to school every morning when I walk, and yeah, I love them. They're just a pair of mittens. They took me 13 days to make. Again, I did the first one in like a weekend, and then the second one took me like 10 days to knit. So yeah, that's just me. I don't know why I keep doing socks and mittens and stuff like that, because they do take me a long time. Okay, the next one is a hat. It is the Petite Knit Hipster hat. This was a definite need in my knitting accessory wardrobe. I can just put it on here. This was a definite need in my wardrobe. I walk to school every day. I'm lucky to live close enough to just be able to walk, but that also means that it's very cold and windy. And yeah, I've talked so much about this hat in my last week of knitting video, but this was a need for me since we had only one hat, which was my boyfriend's, and now that he doesn't have as much time at home anymore because he has started school as well, he needed his back, so I needed to make one myself, and I did that very quickly because I needed it. I did that in 3 days, which was, I felt like so quick. I will also say that I enjoy double knitting, double rib so much. So it's just so squishy. I love squishy things. I feel a little bit goofy when I say stuff like that. And I also love this yarn. This yarn I got from Hobby with the point system. I'm pretty sure it's called BC Shetlands wool, in the color pale pink. That is at least what I wrote down. But I do love this yarn because of how it just has this pink marled look, but also if you look close, if you're like sitting with it, you can see like blue and red small, like not tweets, but like just small things around, and it's just interesting to look at. It looks absolutely beautiful. This yarn is rustic, but it is so smooth. Like, it doesn't itch at all. I don't really have like a wool sensitivity though, but my boyfriend does a little bit, and he wore it, and like on his forehead and stuff where people don't like it to be itching and stuff, this does not itch at all. It does not itch at all, and the like in the cuff is just very nice and squishy. So over your ears, it's just it is honestly the perfect hat. It's just a perfect hat. I really want to do another hat maybe next year with like 3 layers though, because the wind can go a little bit through it. But so like, yeah, just a 3-layer ear. You can also do this and just make it extra long, but I really want to do maybe the Oslo hat or maybe another hat with 3 layers. Let's move on. I only have one thing left for this January, and that is the mittens I talked about, where I tried to make them a little bit smaller. And then here you can also see what I mean about the yarn being a little bit too yellow, like a yellow white instead of a cool white. These are again they are exactly the same mittens where I tried to do them myself. I inspired by the Vienna mitten, of course, like the look of those. They are knit in the they are knit in the Sandnes perfect yarn, so like the sock yarn. It's not my favorite yarn, I would say. This feels and looks like acrylic. I'm sorry to say, I don't know if that's like an unpopular opinion, but I really honestly, they also look a little bit acrylic-y, but this is the difference size wise. You can see this turned out a little bit smaller than this, and you can also see like this has a more yellow than this, which is a lot more cool, but they turned out good. They are not for me, so the length of the mitten is, yeah, I cannot use it. You see my baby thumb. They are for my boyfriend's sister, so yeah, I hope she can fit them, but these thumbs are not my favorite thumbs. I think I need to work out how. I saw this beautiful pattern where there was like increase, the raglan increase was not here like with the Vienna mitten. It was, I think, in the palm here, so it like fit that curve. I think so, yeah. And I really want to try and like re-engineer those. I really also like with these small things to actually try and figure them out for myself, just to learn, and to also because my dream is to maybe one day make a pattern for something, and I am actually in the midst of it. I'm trying at least. But these were again knit in the perfect yarn in the white color. These took me 2 days to make because I don't know, I was in a flow. 2 days for both. That was like, I was so proud of myself for actually, right after this was done, I casted this on and I was like, yes, I did it. I'm assuming like other knitters now. But now we have come to the end of the finished projects for this January. Now I want to show you my one and only whip, and then we can talk a little bit about my dream sweaters and my projects coming up for this spring. This is my self-drafted, maybe a pattern. I'm knitting up a pattern. I'm writing up a pattern for this. It's a no-sew headband. It looks like this. This is also, this is actually inspired by, again, my boyfriend's sister, where we sat and talked about how she didn't want to wear a hat because it would be covered in her makeup and stuff. So I got home and I drew something like this. I have always done a lot of headbands when crocheting, just like beautiful headbands, like not that they're beautiful, but not beautiful, but just decorative ones. So I was like, maybe you can just put it over your ear actually. So I knit this. They need to be a bit wide for it to do it. Maybe this is a bit too wide, but yeah, that is just, it's like intended to be a hat, but a hat that doesn't need to sit on your face, so you can wear makeup, and you can, maybe if you have done your hair and stuff, you don't want it to be squished that much like a hat does, so maybe you can use this as well. So that's just my one whip that I'm working on, and the reason I only have one whip is because I have been planning a lot to buy I have been planning to buy some yarn. Tomorrow is my dad's 50th birthday, and I'm giving him a sweater, and I'm giving him the zipper sweater man from Petite knit. And he needs to decide what color he is wanting, so therefore he's gonna have it in a gift card, and then he can choose the color. I want to knit it in the drop snip haul. I really love that yarn. I already did one for my mom. I can maybe find a picture of it. I don't think I have one where she has it on, but maybe just like a picture. And I love that yarn. My gauge is a little bit too tight with it, but I feel like if I size up, it's fine. And there's also a lot of positive ease in that sweater, so it doesn't really matter if it like strings up just a little bit. So when I need to buy that, when my dad has decided his color, I really want to buy yarn for a few projects. As I told you a little bit earlier, I really want to try out the drops Flora. I really want to try that, so I have decided to do a melange sweater baby edition, to try the drops Flora and to try and marl some yarns together. I have always really wanted to try that, and so I am doing just a baby sweater with one strand in, I don't know the colors yet, but I am, yeah, some one strand in it, so I need to buy that, and I'm just gonna do a small size, I think, just to try it out. I also really want to do a felted bag, so I am gonna buy some drops snow also. I have not gone onto that trend with the sailor slippers and the drop snow, and I haven't gotten to it yet. I did the Sandness slippers pattern for my parents, and they kind of look similar, but they're with not drop snow, they're with this fritzelsgarn, and I want to get on the hype of the drop snow, I feel like. So I really want to do a big tote bag, like a big knitted bag. I have seen a few pictures, but the one I'm really leaning toward is the Nordic tote, I think it's called. I really like that one, so I definitely need to buy some of that. I need to find some colors as well, and I did also write down some of my dream sweaters that I really want to do. Maybe I'm doing this zipper sweater, and I don't know how long that's gonna take when it's like a big man having it. My dad is like 2 meters tall, and he definitely needs a size extra large, I'm pretty sure, so that's gonna take a long time. But after that, I do have some dream knits. I have been loving the FACET sweater. It's my dream sweater right now. I love it. I cannot get enough of it. It looks very 70s, 80s inspired, I feel like I could say, and I just am in love with it. I'm in love with it, and I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with it. And I want it just as it is, with the same colors and everything. I know she also did like a blue swatch maybe, but it needs to be like that autumny colors. Oh, it's just beautiful. I also really want, I am in my Lynette phase right now. I feel like everything she does and have done is just the most beautiful thing ever. And I know with this next dream knit that I have, I know I'm a little bit late, but I really want to do the Rosie sweater, but not the Rosie sweater with the drop shoulder. I really want to do the Rosie yoke sweater, all blouse. And I saw the swatch where she had like the white, I think it's the blouse that has it, but like with the white base and then the blue flowers. I love that swatch. I fell in love with it. I was in love with the brown, like the normal one, and the gray as well, but when I saw the blue and the white, I was like, I love it, I need to put it on my dreams list. And the last one, which I am pretty sure I will be doing like in like spring, like April, May, the Dahlia sweater. Oh, it's the most beautiful one I've ever seen. And I have plans for actually really wanting to do it with some hand-dyed mohair. And that's also why I want to test out the Flora, because all of these patterns use like a fingering weight, I'm pretty sure, and then some type of mohair. And I don't really know I haven't really worked with a lot of fingering yarns before, so I'm very much like a DK kind of girl, so I need to find out if that is a good yarn. I've heard it is kind of like Nepal and Lima, and those are like my favorite yarns from Drop, because I feel like I don't really have a lot of money right now, so I cannot go out and splurge so much. So I want to try and make it kind of affordable. And honestly, I love Drops yarn. The quality there is good. I would say like my favorite yarn brands are Scentness, and then that I've tried, because of course Knitting for Olive, but I have not tried it. But all of their colors are beautiful, and I really want to someday, but right now that is just not in the cards. But I keep calling Scentness Sunday, but Scentness I really love, and I always get their sales, because what I really love about them is that when they put sales on, it's always 50%, which I'm like, yes. So I really love Scentness. I think my favorite yarn from Scentness right now is the Pigant, of course. I feel like I don't know if that is actually the most popular one. And what I really want to try and knit with is their alpaca silk. I felt it in the store and it just feels like a dream. Honestly, it feels like a dream. From Drops, my favorite of their yarns are the Nepal and the Lima, but I feel like that's the same quality, just a bit bigger. Yeah, and that's my favorite. And then something I really want to try is the Flora. Yeah, but that's also why I want to order it. So, but again, it is in my price range as a student, so I'm just lucky that it is accessible for me, because I've heard like it's kind of hard to get a hold on in like other countries, but maybe it's just the US. I don't really know. Where am I going with this? I don't really know, but but those are the 3 sweaters that I have on my dreams list right now. Only like selfish knits, kind of. Yeah, I love having lots of plans. I don't know if you guys are the same way, but I love having lots of plans for knitting and upcoming weeks and upcoming months. But every time I go to sleep and wake up, they change. Every time I go to YouTube and watch a podcast, my dreams and plans change. Every time I go to Ravelry, my dreams and plans change. So you don't really know what you get with me. It's very yeah, it's just there's just so much inspiration out there, and I know I also like, I don't know how you can like express this, but like I love watching podcasts is one of my favorite things. I love watching knitting vlogs. I love watching everything knitting related. So I get lots of that everyone's input in my brain. I want to knit everything that everyone else is knitting. I want more hours in the day. I want more knitting time. I want a better hand to knit. But I feel like because of that, I set myself up for always wanting new things, and I always want all of this. So my plans change a lot. I use a lot of my time actually planning and all of that, but I do love it. I feel like one of my favorite activities is actually to sit and look at yarn and look at what sweater you can do with that yarn and the colors and all of the planning to it. I really enjoy. So, but you just never know what I'm actually ending up knitting or ending up with, and what I abandon and what I don't. That's just what, maybe, I don't know if you guys, if there's anyone watching, you guys are in a similar way as me, please let me know. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, but I think that is that for this January. It has been a very up and down January with exams and with snow and with school starting again. So I hope that this February goes a little bit slower. It already has. It's like the 10th of February right now, so we are a good portion in it, and it feels much more slow. But I just really wanted to tell you thank you so much for watching. If you're watching and knitting on something, please let me know what you're knitting on. I would love to know. I would love the inspiration. I feel like that would be a very fun conversation to have if you're knitting on something, and what yarn you are using, because I really love yarn inspiration for different knitting patterns. But yeah, I'm going off on a tangent all the time, but thank you so much for watching, and if you guys enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!